For today's program, we're going to do the Hello World program again, but this time have a menu bar. So we're going to start our program just like yesterday. Go to File, New Project. Make sure that you've selected Windows Form Application, and once again, make sure you give it a proper name that makes sense for the program. A reminder that there is no special characters, no spaces, and every word begins with a capital letter. Select OK. Once your program comes up in the form designer, we're going to just put one label down at the bottom like we did yesterday that's going to say Hello World. We're going to change its property text to say Hello World. We're going to scroll up and change the font once again. Make it bold and larger so everybody can see it. And center it. The new object today that we're going to add is a menu. If you scroll down to Menus and Tools, there is a menu strip. You can either drag it over, or you could just double click and it will by default place it at the top where the menu should actually be placed normally. Where it says Type Here in gray, we're going to put the heading for our menu. You'll notice on our toolbar at the top it says File. And every program usually has an exit at the bottom. So we're going to type exit. So now we have a menu that has File and Exit. Just going to move the Hello World up and shrink the form slightly. You can help center your objects by using Format and Center in Form. So I'm just going to center my Hello World in the form vertically and horizontally, and we're now set. The next thing I'm going to do is rename each object. Remember that every object should have a 3-letter prefix to represent what it is. So I'm going to start with my label and move up to the top. Once again, there's the property name. Its 3-letter prefix is LBL, and like yesterday, I'm just going to call it Hello World. The other object yesterday that we changed was the form itself, so the name we're going to change that to FRM for form, and once again call it Hello World. I'm going to change the text property on the form just to say message, and I'm also going to change the start location just to show up in the center of the screen when we start our program. The new item that we've added today is the menu. So if you select the menu completely, the name we're going to give it, we're going to first start with its prefix, which is MNU for menu, and it's the Hello World menu. So we type in Hello World. Each item that we typed in is a menu item, and they also have to be named properly as well. So we're going to select each one of those, and we're going to give it a name. So for File, you'll see it's called Menu Item. So it's MNI, and we're going to call it File because it's File. And this one is MNI Exit. So we've named everything on our form. You'll notice down here, the menu also shows down here, and you can see what the name of it is as well. We now have to change the file name that we have for our form. Remember, it always ends in .cs. So we're going to alternate click and rename. We are not going to get rid of the .cs. We're going to call it Hello World Form, and we're all set. Finally, we're going to select our solution because we're going to save everything. We're going to go back and go File, Save Hello World with Menu Solution As. We're going to make sure it's on our desktop, so you can open that up, select Desktop. It has a proper name because we gave it the proper name at the beginning, and Create Directory Solution is selected, so we can click Save. So now our program is completely saved. We can click on the Start Debugging to see our program, and you'll notice that it shows up in the middle, and there is Hello World, and we now have a menu. If you click on Exit, you'll notice that nothing actually happens because we didn't write any code. So today's the first day where we're actually going to write some code. So we're going to close down. This is the designer mode. You'll notice it says design up here. What we want to do is actually write some code. So there's different ways you can do that. You can select over here where it says view code and view designer, but we want to go to a very specific portion of our code. We want to go to what happens when we click on exit. So we're just going to go to that menu item and double click. And you'll see that this piece right here shows up. Just going to minimize that so you can hopefully see it better. There's a whole bunch of information at the top here. We're just going to ignore what this does right now, but we're going to keep it there and not touch it. As you will remember from the notes that you read before this, putting a comment at the very top of our program is important so that when other people are reading our programs, they'll understand what it does. So I'm just going to paste in the comment for me. Notice it starts with a slash and a star and ends with a star and a slash. It is green, which indicates that it's a comment, and the computer program is not going to actually do anything with it. I have who it's created by, when it was created on, what course is it for, and what daily assignment it is. And then you write a little explanation on what the program does. So this is a Hello World program, but with a menu item. If we scroll down a little farther, you'll see namespace. That's a collection for our program. And then there's public partial class form Hello World. This is talking about our form, and inside our form we have a menu item, and when you click on it, we want something to happen. So in here is where we're going to put our code. Notice that all the code is indented, and when you're inside curly braces, you indent once more so that your code is easier to read. The code that we're going to type is this dot close. So this refers to the form, and what we're going to do is close the form. You have to put the two brackets because it's actually a method, which we'll talk about later, and you have to put the final little semicolon on so that the computer knows that it's an end of a line and end of a statement. So that's all the code that we are actually going to write today. This, which refers to the form, and close it. So we're just going to save our project again and rerun. And you'll notice the program comes up, and we can go File, Exit, and hopefully when we click on there, the program will just vanish, which it does. And that's all that we're going to do